This is Mr. Noel Gallagher from Oasis, and you're listening to Radio 1.
Hello, this is Alan.
Oh, this is Griggs.
Hello, my name is Olga and I'm come from Copenhagen.
I'm Boner.
Hello there, I'm Liam. It's all pom-pom.
Need a little time to wake up. Need a little time to wake up, wake up. Need a little time to wake up. Need a little time to rest your mind. You know you should, so I guess you might as well. What's the story, morning glory?
Oasis. What's the story?
Oasis. Oasis. Oasis.
Noel. Yeah, we're always called Oasis. My particular story is, this isn't the true one, but this sounds better than anybody else's. There was a clothes shop in Manchester called Oasis, which is where you could buy these like decent trainers, which is where all the football hooligans used to go. And then other people say it's the name of the local taxi firm in Burnage. And then other people say it's the name of the local curry house around the corner from Bournemouth. The real story is, when I was roadieing with Inspirals, they did a gig at a place called Swindon Oasis. Liam thought it was a good name for a group. Everybody else thinks we sound like a reggae band.
And the live music continues with a band who have the hopes of the entire music world on their shoulders, and they wear it well. Oasis!
Baby, I don't really wanna know.
Noel Gallagher, lead guitar and songwriter. Born Manchester. 29th of May 1967. Gemini.
I think I'm quite shy and sort of laid back and inconspicuous, really. Although other people would say even that makes you more conspicuous, that you're so laid back. But I don't know, I don't really think about it that much. I think I'm just me, you know, I just get on with it.
Alan on Noel.
No, that's a dickhead, isn't he? Nah, take that back. He's a talented guy. One of the easiest blokes I've worked with.
Liam Gallagher, singer. Born Manchester, 21st of September 1972. Virgo.
What are Virgos like? I don't know. If they're anything like me, they're off the tits. Out of control.
Grigsy on Liam.
Liam, the Tasmanian devil. He's got massive amounts of energy and he's completely posse. And I know he's going to listen to this and go, what do you mean, Griggs?
Bonehead, rhythm guitar. Born Manchester, 23rd of June 1965. Cancer.
So I'm the old man, the granddad of the band. I don't believe all that astrology bit. I mean, I'll argue all day with like Noel, you know what I mean? He gets deep into it, like, I don't know, it's right. And I just think, nah, it's a load of crap.
Liam on Bonehead.
Bonehead, not a hair in the world, man. I won't get on with him because he's too bad for radio. He's scandalous. He's bad news.
The first record that was ever bought for me was The Show Must Go On by Leo Sayer. My dad bought that for me. Cheers, Dan. And the first record I ever bought was Never Mind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols.
Peter Howard from Sifters Record Shop in Burnage.
They used to come in when they were no but young lads, and they used to buy, well, mainly golden oldies, I suppose. I remember there was a picture disc once of Beatles on the wall. No, that's what it was. And I said, oh, it's mainly an interview picture disc about John Lennon when he at one time said the Beatles would be bigger than Jesus Christ. And I sort of said jokingly, if you ever become famous, you know, you're going to have to watch what you say because he could be hung like they were.
I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. You know, I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong.
Shake along with me. Sing along with me. Sing along with me.
I'm Mr. Sifter. I was included in one of the lines of Shaker Maker. Mr. Sifter sold me songs when I was just 16. Now he stops at traffic lights, but only when they're green.
Gwigsy, bass, born Manchester, 9th of May 1971, Taurus.
To say I'm touring's supposed to be strong-minded and change my mind, I'm not really like that. Just get on with it, just not got much to say.
Noel, on Gwigsy.
Griggs, he doesn't say a word, he just goes, alright man, go on, here is the papers. He's just stone, he's like Dylan man for the Magic Roundabout.
Alan, drummer, born South East London, 26th of May 1972, Gemini.
I've got two brothers. One is also a drummer, plays for Paul Weller, Steve. And as soon as Steve started playing the drums, it was drums all around the house all the time, so that was the sort of appropriate thing to do, is pick up the sticks and start banging them as well. When I was about 10, I just thought, I can make a career out of this. I realised I was getting quite good at it. I thought, well, go for it. Better than sitting on my arse doing a day job, isn't it?
Liam, on Alan.
Alan, top, mad for it, worse than me. It's what we needed. Someone who wants to play his drums, you know what I mean? And wants to learn more. Better drumming, better buzz for the band, better atmosphere, better harmony. He can't handle his beer.
Clint Boone from the Inspiral Carpets.
Noel Gallagher. Came to us as a fan originally. He was very recognisable because of his monobrow, which became his nickname later in life. He was obviously capable of singing, but his style didn't suit the Inspirals, but he made such a good impact personality-wise that we took him on board as our roadie. He even did interviews at times as pretending to be me, you know. If I didn't want to do an interview, I used to send him out to do it. Like telephone interviews, he used to do all that kind of stuff.
Gwigsy.
I met Bonehead in a pub one night and he said he wanted to be in a band and he could play piano and he could play guitar. And I was like, that's amazing. I wish I could. And he said, you can play the bass. You don't have to play the top string. So that's what I'm doing still, and it is. And that's sort of how it started.
Bonehead.
Oh, sad. Really sad. Doing covers of Wild Thing, but even worse. It was like, sad. Gwigsy's about 19 stone, 15 chins. I've got like long hair, but I'm going bald, you know what I mean? So you can imagine like this bottle patch and this, thinking I'm cool with long hair. Oh, it was sad, sad and sad. I always sacked the singer for the start, so I was like, you know, big move, got to sack the singer, man, because like, it's not happening. So he went and just someone said, oh, you never heard Liam Gallagher sing? So he come down, had a go, and it's like, yes, now I'm on it. The first gig we did as a four-piece, me, Liam, Bonehead and Tony, in the Boardwalk in Manchester. There was about 20 people there, and Noel came. Like, he's always going, it's the worst gig he's ever seen, but he joined afterwards, didn't he? So it must have been something there.
Noel!
So they came off stage and they said, will you be my manager? And I was going, absolutely not, no, you can forget that.
Noel come along, obviously, because it's like, our kids in the band have got to check this out, you know what I mean? Anyway, he says, look, I've been writing songs for years, let me join on lead guitar, I'll write songs, and everything will be rosy, which he did, and it is. And with Noel joining, it was like, discipline. So I let's rehearse twice a week, so we started doing that 3 times a week, then 5 times a week, and every night.
The first gig with that lineup was at the Boardwalk in 1991, and we'd done 4 songs, the first one of which was Columbia, and we'd done a cover of a house track that was pretty big at the time. Can't remember what the track was called, but the vocals were, I better let you know, it's time for you to go, you're gonna break my heart. It was ace.
I can't tell you the way I feel because
no one was taking that much of an interest really. I mean, the only one record company we went to see was Factory Records. We went into his office with this tape and he gave us this big massive speech about Cockneys and Londoners and the music press and the radio and how they termed this music bagging and how horrible it was and this, that and the other. And we were all going, oh, up the workers, so nice one. So we gave him the tape and he played it. 2 weeks later he told us we were too baggy. And then when Supersonic came out and me going to sign off with a copy of The Enemy under my arm with our kid on the cover and seeing Factory's A&R staff in the queue in front of me, which was really cool because they were signing on. I was going, morning boys, remember me? And felt a certain sense of justification, yeah.
Bonehead.
Well, I think we've done a couple of gigs in Manchester. We did one somewhere down south, some building college full of bricklayers, but that ended in disaster, getting chased out, chairs thrown at us and everything. But there was a band we knew in Manchester and they were supporting a band who were on Creation. And these people we knew to come to Glasgow, you know, get on the gig. So we thought, well, yeah, we'll do it. So I mean, we didn't have any money, we had to like charge our mates. Hired a bus, got up there, and I drove it up. And we got in this gig and the guy was like, going, no, you're not doing it, you're not doing it. And in the end we sort of persuaded him, as it were, that we were doing this gig. I mean, we didn't know anyone from Creation Records was going to be there. All I knew about Creation Records was Primal Scream, that was about it. Alan McGee was like, who's he?
Alan McGee, president of Creation Records.
It was, I think, 31st of May 1993. I went along to see 18 Wheeler play. We just went in and we heard that these bunch of scallies were going to smash up the club because they had blagged on to play, just like the Sex Pistols. And I just thought it was funny, but somebody was in a Sex Pistols trip or something. And then there was like 15 kids from Manchester all sitting round a table. And like there was one kid in Adidas, blue and white Adidas, just sitting at the table, and he looked amazing, looked really handsome, and looked like Paul Weller. And I had no idea that this was Liam Gallagher. Anyway, went on up the stairs, and sure enough, this band came on with this kid as the front man that had already noticed him. He was so confrontational as a front man that you just thought, God, he's really got attitude. And then they played the first song and it was really good, and I was surprised. The second song happened and it was pretty good. The guitar solo was outrageous, so the guitarist could play. But the third song had already decided I was going to sign them. And then I'm the Walrus. And it was an amazing version. And then about 10 minutes after they came off stage, Noel appeared out like the dressing room. I just went up to him and said, oh, do you want a record deal?
Favourite food, Italian food, pasta, parmesan, courgettes, love all that.
Favourite chocolates, Rolos. Absolutely not would I give anyone my last Rolo.
Don't eat chocolate. Don't eat sweets. Can go with crisps. Or pickled onion Monster Munch. They are the ones. They are the ones.
Favourite person, me.
Favourite colour, brown. Got loads of brown guitars and brown shoes and brown coats and brown jumpers. Other than that, it's black. Other than that, it's white. Sorry.
Oasis were deported from Holland last week after they were involved in a drunken brawl on a cross-channel ferry. The Creation Act were forced to cancel their first show outside the UK when singer Liam Gallagher and bassist Paul McGuigan were arrested by Dutch police while travelling from Harwich to Amsterdam.
Johnny Hopkins, press officer.
They'd all got pissed up on the boat. There was some big fight. Liam and Griggs got blamed for it. So they got locked in the bottom of the boat. Whilst all this was going on, I think Tony and Bonehead and Noel must have been asleep. And there was some other group of lads over the corridor from them that there'd been some banter all night. And apparently they broke into Bonehead's room and stole all his clothes. And he woke up at some point, realised what had gone on, and started running down the corridors, banging on all the doors. So he got carted off. Tony just sort of innocently, I think, stuck his head round the door to find out what was going on, and that was him gone. Noel wakes up the next day, where's my band? You know, and they're all in the cells. You know, they went back on the same boat, but then it turned out in a brilliant story.
Top rockers Oasis were forced to cancel a sellout show in Newcastle amid an orgy of violence. The Manchester band, who are high in the charts with their single Live Forever, were left fuming when a fan leapt on stage and punched guitarist Noel Gallagher in the head with a metal ring. With blood gushing from his face,
The whole band's come off stage now. Basically, someone came up on stage went for Noel. Noel retaliated, jumped into the crowd. Liam followed, and it's all gone just horribly, stupidly wrong. I think the gig's all off and it's not going to happen now.
It was a really good atmosphere and stuff like that until sort of the middle of Bring It On Down, and then I was doing me guitar solo and a guy just appeared. He's about 2 foot away from me and I thought he was a stage diver, and it's happened just like that, and then all of a sudden he had this big ring on and he just like smacked me in the eye. When somebody does that, you don't think of being a pop star or being in a band or the people in the audience. I mean, it's like being at a football match in a certain sense. You just want to retaliate.
We didn't start it, we had to play songs, that's all we're about. We're not about fighting, we could do the songs, do the set, get off. Splendid evening had by all.
People have been saying it was, John Lennon would have gone back on. No, he wouldn't. Music, to me, is the be-all, and the fans of the band and everything is the be-all and end of it, right? But I've only got 2 eyes. One goes, I don't get another one back. So at the end of the day, it's like, it's only rock and roll, and I'm not prepared to donate parts of my body for the cause.
I'm free to be whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. Free to be whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. Whatever you do, whatever you say, yeah, I know it's alright.
Bonehead.
I think we were in Indianapolis last year. We had like a night off, so Bush were playing. Me and Liam were like, oh, we'll go. So we went to see them, met them afterwards, ended up on a mad one, drank all their beer, ended up in some club, drank more beer, ended up somewhere else, drank more beer. It was like 4 a.m, we're walking down, staggering down this road in Indianapolis. And some guy flies around the corner in a Jeep, just misses Liam, so Liam being Liam's like, yeah, watch it, dickhead, and starts shouting, screaming. Next thing, the Jeep stops, this geezer, like black guy, about 18 stone, jumps out, pulls the gun out of his jacket pocket. And he's like, what did you say, you know what I mean? Or, what did you say? He's like, oh, no. We're like blind drunk. I'm like to Liam, chill out. No, don't slap him, I'll slap him, man. Can't shoot me. And I was like, I bet he can. I'm like, just come on. Where's the hotel, you know what I mean? We didn't know where we were. Got around the corner and sort of ran.
They knocked Take That off the top this week, but behind the scenes it's a turbulent time for Oasis. On the week that some might say went straight to number 1, it's emerged that drummer Tony McCarroll has split with the band after reports of a bust-up.
Some might say went right in at number 1. On the Tuesday, we sacked Tony. Tuesday night, we didn't have a drummer. We were supposed to be doing Top of the Pops the next night. And everyone was going, what have you done? But I don't know, you know. So I sat there thinking, well, actually, what have I done? And then we were due to start the album that Friday. Tuesday afternoon, I met Alan.
I probably wasn't as nervous as I should have been because I didn't have time to think. I went back to see my mum. I said, any calls? She said, oh, is Noel someone from Oasis, is it?
So it suddenly dawned on me about 5 minutes before he turned up. I was thinking, what is he like, about 32 stone or something? And anyway, he came round the corner and as soon as he shook my hand, I said, you're in. And he went, but don't you want to know what my musical influences are? I was like, no mate, you're under 13 stone, you'll do for me, you're in. He said, right, when do we start? I said, we start tomorrow morning, you're on Top of the Pops. Gave him the CD and said, you better have that worked out by tomorrow. And he was like, cheers mate. And that was that.
Oasis, what's the story?
Everyone's got an opinion now about everything now. Whereas last time everyone was like, leave it to Uncle Noel, he'll sort it out. Now Liam Gallagher's got an opinion, Paul McGuigan's got an opinion, Paul Arthur's has got an opinion, even the drummer thinks he's got an opinion. The drummer's like going, I think the drums would sound like this, and we're just going, beg your pardon mate, if you don't mind. Everybody seems to have an opinion now about everything, which led to a lot of arguments.
I just sing what he wants me to sing. But I've got a pair of ears, and that's the thing that people find hard. One member of the band thinks he's the only person with a pair of ears, and the rest have got like beer cans coming out of them. I've heard something in that song that ain't right, so I'm having it, and I'm going to tell you I don't care. And like everyone's been in the room going, yeah, you're right. But it's hard for some kind of person, so I accept it.
Noel Gallagher has stormed out of recording sessions with Oasis in Wales following another punch-up with brother Liam. Noel made his way back to London following the fight which happened last week. Insiders at the studio...
Me and Owen had worked sort of 15 hours a day, and because the rest of them sort of put their stuff on last, they just tended to go down to the pub. But one night they brought half of South Wales back with them, and there was all these sort of kids running around the grounds of the studio and all that. And somebody smashed the window in the studio and all the rest of it got a bit out of order.
He had a row with me.
about his ignorance towards people who he don't know. And like, he told someone to shut up and walk home because they asked him for a number of a taxi, and that person was my mate. And I said, yeah, I don't talk to people like that. Why? No, because you don't know, because I'll slap you all round miles. So we had a fight, and that was it. And then I trashed the place, yeah, because I went right off my tits.
They've split up twice on sessions that I've recorded them, and it's all about nothing. They always end up getting back together, basically the next day. It's like nothing's happened, which is really weird. They love each other, really. I wish they wouldn't have them, because it's horrible. From the sublime to the ridiculous in half an hour. They were killing each other, literally wanting to kill each other, and Noel said he wasn't coming back, and that was it. End of band. I'm absolutely convinced that Liam loves Noel more than anybody else, possibly even himself. As to who Noel loves, I don't know.
My real friends are the people I borrow money to. It's like, you say people, well, he's alright, but I wouldn't borrow him a tenner. And I've got loads of people who think are alright, but I wouldn't borrow them any money. But the people I borrow money to is who I consider my friends. Is that sad or what? Is that sad? That's sad, isn't it?
Noel Gallagher is the best writer at the moment, with like Cast No Shadow, which was going to be a B-side. We recorded it in about 3 hours, Cast No Shadow, Liam's one take on the vocals, with Noel stood there going, oh no, change this word and sing this. And at the end of it, we were like, right, that's on the album. But that's one he just wrote on the train on the way down on his acoustic guitar, just for a B-side.
Here's a thought for every man who tries to understand what is in his hands. What's in his hands? He walks along the open road of love and life, surviving if he can. Surviving if he can. Bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say, chained to all the places that he never wished to stay. Bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say. As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow.
See, I'm getting old now. A bit more old and miserable and a bit more cynical about it all and all the rest of it. I need to do a bit more it, you know. Like at Glastonbury, I didn't have a drink until we come off stage. By the time he got on there, he was bladdered. And he was just up for it, do you know what I mean? Whereas like I wasn't. I was sat there all day like getting sort of like pretty nervous.
Well, it was good in 2 ways because it was my birthday. I was 30 on Friday, and plus we're headlining Glastonbury, so it's like I'll never forget my 30th birthday. It was a buzz. I mean, Liam said it was Bonet's birthday today. He's 30, and like, you know, the crowd started singing happy birthday.
It's Bonet's birthday today, believe it or not. He's 30 years of age today.
You buy them, we count them down. The original UK Top 40.
So it's moment of truth time. The UK's number 2 song is Blur or Oasis. Which one do you think? Okay, I'll tell you. It's Oasis at number 2.
When people go on about like Oasis and Blur, really, I mean, they've got the wrong band. The competition's U2 and the Beatles' back catalogue.
But I don't think number ones matter to us anymore now with the farce of the last release of the singles, which it just degraded, I think, both bands. And it just became a little bit of a music industry circus, really. The only people who benefited out of it was our record company, the other record company, and all the record shops.
First thing we recorded with Alan was Roll With It. Noel turned after about 3 in the afternoon, pissed off his head, fell asleep at the back of the control room. We woke him up, banged them in the studio, and they all played through Roll With It, sort of Noel barely able to stand up. And that's the version we went with the first time they actually recorded together with Alan.
I think I'm gonna take me away and hide.
Oasis have been rejoined by bass player Paul Gwigsy McGuigan, who left the band in September suffering from nervous exhaustion. Gwigsy was expected to be out of action until the end of the year and was temporarily replaced by Scott McLeod, formerly of Manchester band The Yayas. However, McLeod walked out of the band only days from the end of a short American tour, giving no reason other than he wanted to go home. Oasis played the David Letterman show with Bonehead on bass.
Our next guests are the most popular rock and roll band in Britain today. Can you guys prove it? Seriously, how would we know? Please welcome Oasis.
Tuesday afternoon we were told, there was a possibility that our date was in jeopardy, but please go ahead. I guess that was when he actually did walk, and they didn't have any hope of getting him back into the band on Tuesday. I think they were probably trying to negotiate with him, for the Toronto show on the Wednesday night. Wednesday morning, we were informed that due to an illness on the bass player's part, we would have no show. However, they would try to reschedule in December.
It's really not fair. I don't understand why he just backed out of nowhere. I don't see why they couldn't get another bassist. That really, really upset me. There are just so many people who had tickets who were so looking forward to going to go see them. I mean, if you make a commitment, you stick with it.
This all started with when Griggs said he didn't feel he could go on or give 100% to the band, so we had to cancel a full tour there, and then we got a new bass player, and we thought, well, that's cool, he's fitting in really well. And then after about 2 weeks, he walked out, and what happened was we'd done a gig in Pittsburgh, I think it was, and he comes off stage and he went straight to bed on the tour bus. Now Liam was going to bed, which was even more strange. Liam got to bed early, and anyway, the bus takes off, and the tour manager sat on the bus. She had sort of this look on her face, and we went, "What's up with you?" And she went, "Well, I've got some bad news." We're going, "What's it?" She says, "Oh, well, Scott's just said he wants to go home." So we all decided we were going to let him sleep on it, and if he got up in the morning and changed his mind, fair enough. By the time we got up in the morning, he was on the plane home. The funny thing is, he didn't speak to me personally about it, except until I got back from America when we'd done the Letterman show, and he phoned up, believe this or not, and he says, "All right, it's Scott," and I went, "Well, what do you want?" And he's actually changed his mind and said, "Oh, I think I've made the wrong decision." I said, "Yeah, well, I think you have, and good luck with signing on."
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you. And all the roads that lead us there are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding.
There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all,
You're my Wonderwall.
When I first heard that someone had done a cover of Wonderwall, it was like, well, who? And someone said, "Oh, it's this guy called Mike Flowers Pops." It was like, never heard of him. But when we got the tape, it's like, backbeat, the word on it. And it was like, I mean, we fell about in hysterics, but not in a derogatory way. Everybody in the band thinks it's great. I mean, like, Wonderwall as a song, right, it's a great song, the way we do it. But he's changed all the chords around, and he's kept the same melody. And that is the sign of a great, great song. I mean, I'd like to hear anybody doing a 9 Inch Nails cover. Good luck to the guy, man. Really, no, and I mean it, honestly, like, good luck to the guy.
Are you gonna be the one that saves me? And after all, you're my wonder wall.
Except no imitations.
Liam's the best singer about, he's the best frontman about, and Noel's the best songwriter about. Noel on his own wouldn't be as good, although Don't Look Back in Anger is an amazing vocal on that.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you've never been, but all the things that you've seen will slowly fade away. So I start a revolution from my bed, 'cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, summertime's in bloom. I stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. So sides away, but don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say.
Listening to what my band have said about themselves and about me and about us, and what I've said about them, I think you probably find we're the most honest band there is around. I think everybody else are just lying. And I know for a fact that you read interviews by these people who claim not to take drugs and stuff like that. They are liars, and they're not only lying to the fans, they're lying to themselves. People go on about, we brag about drugs and all the rest of it, we don't. The thing is, people say to me, do you take drugs? And I say, yes I do. I think we just are what we are, and people know where they stand with us. Don't they? Do they? Do they? They do, don't they? And then we have Noel Gallagher, a man who doesn't know where he stands with anyone.
When I used to take drinking drugs, blah blah blah, the history and all that, I was probably just as bad, if not worse, really. How can you tell people off for being like out of order? Do you know what I mean? When you've been more out of order yourself, really, on many an occasion. To be honest, you know, they're not really that big on the party, really, as much as, you know, people think. You know, they're not squeaky clean. Like, take that.
Do you know he still buys lottery tickets on McGee? Can you believe that? I was in the shop with the day, right, and he's in the queue, man. There's this guy, and he's like, he's buying 20 lottery tickets. And I'm going, oi. And he says, oh, all right, man. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm buying lottery tickets. And I went, and all the money you've got? I was like, you're buying lottery tickets? And then he's coming out with this spiel, man. Oh, but no, if I won it, man, I'd give it away, you know, boys. And I was like, what, a Scotch person? Piss off, man. Do me a favour.
Oasis frontman Noel Gallagher has been given a vintage Rolls-Royce convertible by his record company, but he can't drive. It was one of the expensive gifts showered on the chart-topping band by Grateful boss Alan McGee after 2 #1 albums saved his creation records from extinction. I can't walk straight, let alone drive a car, said Noel, 28.
Well, no, all that was that somebody suggested, Noel had always said he wanted, you know, a Rolls Royce if he ever made it. And then I turned around and went, well, why don't we get him one? And everybody looked at me as if I was nuts. The thing is, you know, sold 6 million records between the 2 albums in the last year. I mean, if that's what the guy wants, I'll buy him a Rolls Royce. You know, I just loved it as a rock and roll gesture, really.
How many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, a champagne supernova in the sky.
So all the band were getting these big stacks of boxes of presents, and I'm thinking, well, there's nothing there with my name on. I thought, this is bang out of order.
And then, like, no, I just said, come here, come outside. He sort of sussed it and he went,
what? You know, he's pointing at this, like, big Rolls Royce, and I'm going, what?
And he's going, you know, it says, that car's yours. And I was going,
no way, it's not that Rolls Royce. And I went, it is. And he went,
but what am I supposed to do with it? I can't drive, you know. I mean, what am I going to do with it? And he's going, well, I don't know. And I was going, well, I don't know either, you know what I mean?
And you know, it was the first time I've ever seen the guy completely dumbfounded.
Wake up the dawn and ask her why. A dream, she never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, a champagne supernova. 'Cause people believe that they're gonna get away from the sun. But you and I live and die, the world still spins around, we don't know
As long as I keep writing songs, that's the challenge. You know, I'd like to be a better guitar player. I'd like to write the perfect pop song. There's some bands I'd still like to play with before we pack it all in.
I've got no intention of splitting Oasis up in 3 years. Bollocks, I ain't splitting no Oasis. Oasis is my thing. I sorted the name out and I'll carry it on.
how many special people change. How many lives are living strange. Where were you while we were getting high? We were getting high. 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 We were getting
This programme, Oasis What's the Story, was produced by Christine Moore from Radio 1's production department.
Thank you very much, nice one.
97 to 99 FM, Radio 1, Radio 1, Radio 1, Radio 1.